Welcome everybody to episode 26 of the Take Aim Gamescast. We are halfway through a year of doing these, so that is
Holy crap,
pretty
you're
exciting.
right.
Yeah, I am your host, Scott Mills, the Microsoft/PC expert. I'm joined on my left by Brett Wolf, the PlayStation expert.
Hey, what's up, guys? What's
He's
up?
cooking up some special content for you guys.
We got something special for you guys later, so tune in and find out what it is.
And on my right, I've got the Nintendo expert. He's an expert in a little bit of everything as well. It's Eric King.
I'm getting excited. 2 more weeks.
That's right. 2 weeks until E3, and we will be next week is when we're gonna focus on giving you guys
Big
all the
episode.
games that are confirmed for E3, and we're gonna do our big prediction show for what we think is gonna be shown at E3.
Big episode next week.
That's right.
Stay tuned for that. This is a big episode.
Yeah,
too,
I always
so
love E3.
Stay tuned for this one.
Because I just love the hype factor behind seeing games that are maybe gonna be coming out.
Are you
And
for
I
sure
get more
buying to Phil
excited.
Spencer,
I get more excited about hearing about games that are gonna come out instead of when they actually come out. But I don't know. I just think it's exciting time, and it's cool to see the new technologies. But this week we have a few news stories. We're gonna try to stay away from anything like what's being confirmed at E3. We have a few things that have been confirmed at E3, but we'll wait till next week for that stuff. Let's start off with in my area, PC is getting its own version of Xbox Game Pass. So it's still called Xbox Game Pass on the PC version, which is kind of odd. Like, why don't you just call it PC Game Pass? But there's going to be different games on, obviously, because there's some console exclusives to Xbox that you don't have on PC. So there's going to be a different library of games for the PC. I'm sure there will be games on there that you can't get on the regular Xbox Game Pass either. I think it's a good idea, though. Microsoft, they're trying to incorporate PC gamers. They've always kind of, I mean, they build Windows, so it makes sense that they should be trying to support PC gamers, and with their whole xCloud streaming that they're working on, I think that's going to be their next big push for gaming, and I think that will work a lot better with PC and other tablet devices. I wouldn't be surprised if that links in with the xCloud stuff in the future. But what do you guys think about all of that?
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't just call it Microsoft Game Pass, but
Yeah.
it's kind of weird that Xbox Game Pass on the PC. But yeah, good for the PC guys, I guess. They might complain though since it's not Steam. So
Yeah, well, they might be working with Steam.
oh really?
So this is what I'm.
Yeah, those PC gamers are really
Maybe,
crying
I don't
about that
know.
shit.
Why would it come to Steam? Like, why would
Well,
Valve allow that?
I don't think that would happen.
Yeah, that's probably not. But, well, I'm just reading this story and it said something about Steam.
How do you
I don't
feel
know.
about it not having
Alongside
Steam?
bringing the pass to PC, Spencer says the future Xbox titles like Gears 5 and Age of Empires collection will be hitting Steam, while also hinting that Xbox games could also be come to other PC storefronts as well. So that's just saying that Xbox games going to Steam, so they're obviously working with them in terms of that. But he offered no details on the pricing or the full library of games, so we don't know that.
Sure, very much. It'll probably be the same price.
Yeah, so what is it, like $10 a month the Game Pass is? And then
Yeah,
Live
so-
or Xbox Gold is $15 a month. It's
Something
one
like
it's
that.
one or the other, yeah.
Yeah, I think Game Pass is 10. I don't know. I'm subscribed to both. I need to cancel them both.
Yeah.
I don't know. I gotta keep Xbox Gold just for Overwatch.
Yeah, because then
It's the only
you
thing
can't
I
play
play on my
that.
Xbox.
So that's that. I guess now we'll go on to Eric's domain. Pokemon is having a Pokemon Direct. It's not a Nintendo Direct. There's going to be a Pokemon Direct, and they're gonna Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Yeah, probably see a release date. I'm sure. Probably
Yeah.
a little more gameplay. Nothing too crazy. Everyone gets hyped for Pokemon though. So
Yeah.
Can I interject really quick? It is normal for Nintendo to have their own Pokemon Directs.
yeah.
Usually they don't show Pokemon at Nintendo Directs. They just have their own Directs. I just want to clarify that really
Yeah,
quick. It's a normal thing for them to have their own.
Pokemon Direct.
Yeah, it's actually their own thing. So that's normal. I think we'll see a release date, and I think we'll see maybe more new Pokemon shown, maybe more scenes of like the world that you're playing in, and maybe maybe the UI. You actually see like the whole UI, and maybe even see second or even maybe third evolutions of the starters. They might, maybe just do the second evolutions and maybe do another Pokemon Direct as it gets closer to November, and show the final evolutions for the starters. So that's what I'm going to tune in. So, because I did draft that and I like Pokemon games.
Mhm.
So, and maybe they'll show us some more of the battling mechanics. But I'm assuming this will be still turn-based.
Number 1 overall pick.
It was my fourth overall and then 1 overall for me. So. That was confident that game was coming out. So it seems like all my games in my fantasy draft are coming out this year.
So we know the window they gave at the last Pokemon Direct was November, you think? So,
Yeah, I think I'm
but
pretty sure
we
they
don't
said
know
November.
a date, exact date.
I'm assuming the third week of November. Looks like
Okay.
I did with Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go.
Seems like it's always November.
So if I had to take a gander at a release date, probably on a Friday, probably maybe
November
15th? 15th or the 22nd, because Thanksgiving's on the 28th, and I doubt they'll release a game on Black Friday.
So it'll be sooner than that because they won't have it. Yeah, they won't have it out by Black
So if I think
Friday.
it guys be 15th or the 22nd, I will lean more towards November 15th.
I was thinking 8th or 15th, but I'd say 15th though. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I'm thinking, if I'm looking at my
Okay.
dates right. So, yeah, no, I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping that they change it up more. I was kind of disappointed that it wasn't more of an open world game that we
Yeah,
were
we'll
all
see
kind of hoping
what the-
for, but we'll still see.
It's still early, like what the last time they showed it,
It's gonna be
so
the same
they
format.
might.
It's gonna be the same, probably the same.
Yeah.
They're not gonna be able to
Imagine,
change the whole balance
Like the
system.
4 attacks, you'll probably have the special attack type of thing.
Yeah, you have like probably a Z move or whatever
Yeah.
it's called now, and probably have Mega Evolutions too. So
Yeah, it'll be cool to see. I'm sure that they'll go over like the list of Pokemon that are in it. You'll see more of those.
I'm choosing the water Pokemon, so I already decided at the
I'm
beginning.
choosing too.
I always choose water. You always choose fire. Like every single time, like I always choose a water Pokemon. You choose fire. So I
Yeah,
get
you guys
water.
better do
And you
different
chose
so you
Pikachu
can
over.
trade.
Yeah, you made me get Eevee. Let's go Eevee.
No,
and
you
let's go-
wanted Eevee because you knew it was OP in that game.
But Pikachu's OP in that game too.
Because Eevee can have like moves every fucking type in that game.
Yeah, it can for sure.
Another piece of, I guess, moving on from Pokemon now.
I don't know
we'll,
how to
we'll,
spell
we'll talk
Seagull,
some more about how the Direct goes. We'll give our impressions next week. Another piece of news for the PC market that should get old fans of old BioWare games excited. The creators of Divinity Original Sin, Larian Studios, they might have just teased Baldur's Gate 3.
I saw that.
So there were rumors that they had the license for Baldur's Gate, and all they did was post a picture that's like a 3 symbol, but somebody went into the source HTML code and they saw where it said something about Baldur's Gate 3 on there. So that's where the rumor is coming from. It's still just a rumor at this point. There's evidence that points to it being true, and then there's evidence that could debunk it too. I didn't look too far into it, but I think that would be cool to see. if
2
Baldur's Gate-
Divinity Original Sins too. So
There are, so it could be.
It's probably gonna be Baldur's Gate
Divinity
though.
Original
If
Sin
people
3.
wanted to
Yeah,
end that source code.
yeah. I played a little bit of the first Baldur's Gate. Played through like maybe the first like quarter or third of it. It's fun. It's really hard though. You've got the whole party system, kind of like a Dragon Age Origins type of thing, but there's more details. Like it's an older game, so you have more things you have to do manually that can be frustrating. But if you're really into old school RPGs or Dungeons and Dragons type games, because those games are based off of the rule set for Dungeons and Dragons, so I think it'll be cool to see what can be done with Baldur's Gate 3 and the direction they go with it.
Yeah, I just started playing Divinity Original Sin, the first one.
Yeah.
Seems pretty good, but I haven't gone too deep into it.
Yeah, it's very strategy, like with the elements.
Yeah, it's
'cause you can-
turn-based, right?
Yeah, turn-based type combat.
Next story.
Okay, next story, we've got Xbox Games with Gold, the free June games is going to be NHL 19. I don't know if that's on EA Access already.
is.
Where you could, yeah,
It
so
is.
it's already on
Usually
EA
those games
Access.
come to the vault 6 months usually after release.
Is
Yeah.
it full game or still trial? I think
It
it's
should be a full game.
I think it's full
Yeah,
game.
It's a
a full
full
game.
NHL 19.
So if you EA access, that's
and I already have that, so
worthless. Yeah.
it's kind of worthless. But they also have a backwards compatibility game, the Xbox 360. They're doing the original Portal game.
That's cool.
So that's kind of cool because that's a really fun game. The Cake is a Lie, that was the big meme back then. And I loved the ending song for that. It got me into Jonathan Colton was the artist there, and I thought he's done some other just
No
individual
wonder
songs.
Scott wanted to do a soundtrack
Yeah,
top
we're
5
good.
list because he wanted to throw in Portal in there.
That's right. Yeah, still
Yeah.
alive.
Alright, and PlayStation free
Mhm.
games for this month. The good games.
Yeah, so PlayStation, you have Borderlands, the Handsome Collection.
Which I just bought like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, that's kind of.
Yeah.
See if,
Whoops.
well, you can maybe even call Sony and see if you can get that refunded.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It was probably more like a month out.
Oh, they probably won't refund it. 'Cause
I don't remember exactly.
Yeah.
When did the
When
Game of the Year come
Game of
out?
the Year came out,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's pretty much
So
like
that doesn't include Borderlands 1. That includes Borderlands 2 and the pre-sequel, and I believe all the DLC for those.
Oh,
And then the next game is, I think it's Sonic Mania. And that's a game I haven't played yet. I'm not sure what type of game that is. I don't know, it's just kind of like another Sonic game or whatever.
Is it or is it like the collection?
I have no
or something?
idea.
It might be a collection. I'm not sure though.
Yeah, I don't think it's a collection. I think it's just an actual game.
Is it?
Yeah, I think Jared bought it. So Jared, put in the comments if talk about Sonic Mania if you want. I'll probably check it out just because it's free.
Yeah.
So
I'm a fan of Sonic, so
Did you
again,
wait for that movie?
well, again, yeah. Well, I saw that they had like a tweet about it, and it showed like Sonic holding like a new release date for February 14th. And it showed him having the actual gloves on, not like how he was in the original trailer when he was a blue fur.
that's good. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a good sign. But back on track. It's still another month goes by, and it's still only 2 games for PlayStation Plus. Ever since they got rid of the Vita and the PS3 games, which is pretty disappointing because I would assume they would put more VR games on there. Blood and Truth just dropped a couple weeks ago too. I heard that's a good game for VR. But yeah, it's still disappointing that Xbox is getting all these different games, a lot of backwards compatibility games, and you're still paying the same price as you would for PlayStation Plus for a whole year. So it's kind of a letdown that we're still waiting for more games to come to PlayStation Plus. So that's disappointing for me. But I mean, I had Borderlands: The Handsome Collection, had that for
You
3
saw
years.
free games?
Yeah.
Yeah, I never played the
Yeah, VR would be nice
pre-sequel.
to
Yeah, I'm still playing through 1, so that's the game I've been playing right now. I'm playing through 1. I'm gonna get the platinum in that game, and then we're gonna go on to Borderlands 2, and if we have time before Borderlands 3, we'll hit up the pre-sequel. But now they have a puppy, it's kind of tough to get the game time in, but that's kind of like my plan. So, but yeah, those are the games for PlayStation Plus for June.
Okay. Do you think you're gonna be streaming Borderlands 3 when that comes out?
I may, yeah, because I'm off that day
Yeah.
from work,
I think that
so
one of us should.
yeah, I can do it.
Okay.
I can do it.
I'm sure that all 3 of us are probably gonna pick that game up. But,
Are you in for PS4?
Probably. I don't know. That's September release, right?
I know Dom doesn't like playing co-op games, so.
This Madden's gonna be coming out too, so
Mm,
and I'm hyped for Madden this year. So
okay. All right,
well,
next up.
Dominic played Destiny
big year
too,
for
so-
Madden.
Well, he played mostly PvP, the Crucible and shit.
Yeah.
I thought he really played. He just did all the part of the campaign missions just
No,
because
I
he
played
wanted to
with
get.
him on.
Yeah, but probably just because he
some
wanted
of
to
the
better
strikes,
loot for
so-
PvP.
Maybe, probably.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. He's not a PvE or a single player guy. So okay.
Okay, and then to the big PlayStation news, we've got a trailer that Hideo Kojima is just like, oh, hey guys, stay tuned for this tomorrow, and on Twitch, we're just gonna do a random Death Stranding stream, and on Twitch, it was really cool. They did based on viewer count, they had this continually playing
Mhm.
trailer,
Yep.
and the screen, it had these black splotches of handprints that would go away as they got more viewers and as the time went on, and then finally they showed the full thing, the trailer, and you got a release date.
Yes.
So why don't you tell us?
Yeah,
about
sure. So they released an 8-minute trailer for the game. Death Stranding is coming out November 8th. It's available for pre-orders. I tried pre-ordering the game with the deluxe edition for the steelbook. Sold out. Collector's edition is $200. That's sold out. So there's a lot of people that are hyped for this game. When I was watching on Twitch on that day, I think it was Wednesday, I saw it was over 100,000 people just waiting for it to be revealed. Hideo Kojima talked about the significance of the hands and how this is supposed to be a connected world through everybody that's playing the game. So kind of like, everybody watching the same thing, trying to get all the hands removed, people actually see the trailer. So I was watching it. It seems like there are some third person and some first person elements of the game, and he did show like the I guess not really the crafting wheel, but some of the UI and a different. I think they showed some gun fighting, and they showed Norman Reedus, who plays as Sam Bridges in the game, using a ladder to kind of traverse the world, which is kind of cool. So I'm not sure if it's gonna be kind of like the whole Zelda, you can go anywhere type of game. So, but I did see some stealth elements, which is Metal Gear Solid fans will be used to that. So it looks really interesting. It's gonna be a day one purchase for me. Jared drafted it, you counterpicked it, so you're in trouble for that one.
I don't think so. I'm still not that interested in it.
That doesn't matter if you're interested in that, but
I
it's about
didn't
the
even watch
reviews.
the trailer.
It's about the reviews.
Okay, well, I hope it gets bad reviews. So
How dare you? It's not gonna get better.
I don't know.
Hideo Kojima.
well, maybe it will.
Scott is so biased.
I don't like
Just admit,
him. I don't know.
Just admit
This
you
game
were.
looks so bad to me. I don't know why people
You
are
said
so
you didn't
excited
watch it,
about
right?
it.
Just-
Yeah, how do you say that it's bad if you haven't watched a trailer?
Because I saw all the other teaser stuff and I'm like, no, I'm not even gonna pay
Well,
attention
you
to
watched
this
the
game
trailer.
because it's stupid.
No, see, you were just counting on it not coming out this year.
No, I wasn't. I
So
picked
now
it
you're-
because I thought it was gonna be bad.
Yeah,
I think you can run back the tape on that.
We'll
run the tape back.
Our
No, I-
fantasy
I
draft,
like
and
this.
I
It's
said
making
I
it
don't
fix
like
bad.
it
Let's-
because it's gonna be bad.
Okay.
Alright.
I picked it because that. But then
Watch my pick that.
I'm gonna have to watch it. I'm gonna watch the tape again. I'm gonna have to watch it because I'm not sure about that, Scott. But hey, if you're right, then you're right. So.
I don't know. Yeah.
But so Scott counterpicked it.
I think it looks stupid.
I totally disagree with Scott. I wasn't a big Metal Gear Solid fan, but this game looks so interesting, and it's a Sony exclusive game, and I think it might be coming to PC eventually. But Sony will own the IP of the game, and it seems like he got a lot of work done in 3 years. I mean, he already had the engine, which is borrowed from Horizon Zero Dawn, the Destiny
Rocky.
engine. So
Got it.
Rocky. But yeah, I'm super excited, and yeah, I just agree with Scott. I think it's gonna get in the 90s. I think it's gonna be well reviewed, and a lot of people are hyped for
Wow,
it.
so you think it's gonna be close to Game of the Year? Because
Yeah.
right now the highest rated, at least on the Fantasy Critic, I think was Sekiro, which is at a 90.
What was that? Jared's first roll pick?
Sekiro's Jared's first overall pick.
Oh,
Death Stranding was a couple rounds after.
uh,
Yeah, so I think it's gonna score really well. I'll be very, very surprised, and I'll eat my words if it does review poorly. But it looks so interesting. It looks very narrative based, and Kojima, that's what he likes
Yeah,
doing.
ever since I saw
Have they
the
talked at
baby
all?
thing, I was like, this is just
You get an actual baby in the collector's edition.
no, it's cool. Like it seems like they do something with that baby where they can like see, I don't know,
I-
ghosts or some shit.
I think
but
I want to get a link to like the past or like.
I think it's like ghost or something. I don't know. It's weird, but anyways,
exactly.
well, they don't want to give up like spoilers on it, so
Yeah.
just keeping it under wraps. But I don't know if they mentioned at all like how long this game's gonna be or anything like that.
The reason I'm so hyped for it is Jared called me out about it too. He's like, "Why are you so hyped for it if you don't even haven't even played Metal Gear Solid games and you haven't really played Kojima
Yeah,
games?"
it's kind of like your cyberpunk obsession.
Me?
Yeah.
No, I just said that I'm excited for it because it looks like a cool world and everything that they've shown looks like it looks like a very cool game. Let's say it looks cool. Just because I haven't played The Witcher
It
3
looks
doesn't mean I
cool.
can't like CD Projekt Red
Yeah.
and respect what they've done. Even though I haven't played The Witcher 3, doesn't mean I can't respect what they've done. And they made a good game. They made a good game. But no, I like innovative stories that don't tell the same thing over and over again. And this seems like it out of kind of left field in terms of like the story. So that's why I'm kind of hyped for it. That's why I'm playing and see what happens. And you know, the mystery part is what intrigues me the most. If you don't know what this game's about, and I want my mind. I like psychological thrillers in terms of like movies. So I think the suspense, like, what does all this mean? Like, am I gonna find out what this means in the game? And of course, I try to buy every single Sony exclusive game because I enjoy that platform. It's my favorite platform. So, but yeah, so November 8th, Death Stranding. You can pre-order it. So
yeah, I think it looks pretty good too. The only thing that worries me about it,
the engine looks awesome. The Decima engine is probably one of the best engines out there.
I don't know if it's gonna be like an open world game, and it looks like there's a lot of like wandering around to do, kind of like in No Man's Sky, which kind of worries me. I feel like
he did say I saw something. There was like a mountain or something in the trailer. And he said that you could actually like scale that mountain in the game, so it does sound like.
Yeah, we talked about that when I mentioned that like you can use different like a ladder, or you can use like he put like in the trailer he took like a spike and put it down. It was able to like kind of rappel down like the side of a mountain or whatever. So you can use your resources to kind of navigate the world, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, but some of these developers, they seem like they build these big open worlds and they just don't fill them. So that's the only thing I'm worried about.
Yeah. Well, again, like I think a lot of people are, he started working on this game back in 2016 probably. But again, the reason I got done so quick is because when Metal Gear Solid came out, they built that engine from scratch. Yeah. This engine was already not even leased, but given to them by Guerrilla Games. So they already had a head start. And I bet you, since Sony, is help funding the game, that a lot of the resources from Guerrilla helped train Kojima Productions on using the engine and troubleshooting and all that kind of things. So. Yeah, no, I'm excited. So I disagree with Scott, but we'll see who's right at the end. I think I'm gonna be right, but Scott thinks he's gonna be right. So we'll just have to see.
What was the exact release date? It was like November 8th or November 8th.
Yeah, it's Friday. I'm off that day too.
November 8th.
And it's gonna be some type of like multiplayer component to it. Okay. So
Scott's in trouble. There's no way the game's getting under an 80.
So well, this is what I wanted to go into now. We saw news that because Death Stranding is coming out in 2019 now, the game that you drafted, Last of Us Part 2.
Can we talk about this too, about the tweet I sent out?
Looks like it's not going to be coming.
So, okay, for the audience here.
I thought you didn't know who that guy was, Scott.
I made a tweet.
I don't. So there was a tweet from Jason Schreier, and I have it here. And
he was just tweeting at somebody, so I don't think he intended for everyone to see it.
Well, I think that's the same with the Cyberpunk one too.
Yeah, he said something about Cyberpunk.
No, I'm talking about the Cyberpunk one.
Yeah. Oh, I was talking about The Last of Us too.
Well, he actually tweeted out The Last of Us one.
Yeah.
He said Last of Us. He doesn't. I don't remember exactly what the tweet is on my phone.
Okay, so the tweet is sent out, and Scott doesn't know who Jason Schreier is, but I think everybody in our audience probably is aware of who he is. He's like kind of Adam Schefter and Adrian Wojnarowski of the video game world. He has the most stories. People come up to him and give him information because he keeps everything confidential. He wrote the stories about Anthem and about Dragon Age for Kotaku. He's very, very well in the know. Obviously, if you didn't know what he was talking about, then BioWare and EA probably would have never have responded to his article the way that they did. So he's very well renowned and like he has tons of sources. He knows his shit. So he made a comment about. This is before the trailer came out. He said, it looks like Death Stranding is about to get announced for a November release. He was right. The Last of Us 2 was also planned for fall of 2019, but I actually just heard it got bumped to early 2020, possibly February. Either way, wild final year for PS4. I also want to make a mention of Cyberpunk 2077, Scott's favorite game of the year. He's heard from 3 sources that Cyberpunk was aiming for 2019, but belief around the studio was that it was an unrealistic target. I expect first half 2020, or maybe an E3 announcement of 2019.
So now, when it gets announced for 2019 at E3, you guys are going to be like, no, this guy, Jason Schreier, says it's going to get delayed.
But Scott, how do you not know who that is?
I've never heard of him until
he wrote those articles. He wrote those articles, and you heard about those?
Scott, what article?
About the Anthem crunching and why it was so... You didn't even read those? Scott's been doing his homework.
Scott, remember
I've never heard of this guy.
We need a new host!
Scott, remember last time that you didn't...
I just ask questions. I don't have to know the thing.
Remember last time you didn't know who one of the guys we brought up to was?
Oh, yes.
ACG.
ACG?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
this
remember
guy,
him,
he's
and
a
you
crazy
didn't
guy.
believe him, but then Anthem ended up getting like 60 overalls, and
Well, I thought that it was bad that they were reviewing these,
So just remember
putting
how that
out
turned
review
out
scores
last
for a
time,
game
Scott.
before the actual release.
See, I know how
date.
Scott works. Scott defends his team, and he might not even believe it, but he's gonna say it because that's on his team.
yeah, like he knows he's in trouble with us,
Yeah. But yeah, so Jason Schreier is talking about that The Last of Us Part 2 will probably be coming out early next year, which I can buy now that Death Stranding has a solid release date of November, because you don't want those two games going against each other. So I really believe that. So Eric, yeah, you're SOL probably, but who knows? Who knows? He might be wrong, but I don't think he'll
I
be
mean, I
wrong.
can still win without Last of Us anyways, so I don't need it.
Well, Jared's in the lead, so
Yeah,
but he might lose some big points
I
with Death
also
Stranding.
have less games.
I only have like 3 games that I'm pretty
You're
sure are
in trouble
coming
this
out
year,
in
Scott.
2019 now, because Skull and Bones got delayed to 2020 now. And if Cyberpunk 2077, which I
You
think
should
is
be
still gonna
hoping
be
you
good,
finish positive,
But-
Scott.
that one could be. No, I'm at 20 point. I'm in the positive. But the 3 games that I'm actually gonna pick up and play that I drafted are The Outer Worlds, Psychonauts 2.
Oh,
and,
can I say something really quick about the Outer
yeah.
Worlds?
Is
So
that
it's
what
not
it's
the Outer Worlds, but Outer Wilds. Again, you
Yeah,
played
yeah,
at
the Wilds.
PAX East.
Yeah,
Didn't you say you didn't really like it?
it was alright. I didn't say
It
I didn't
got
like
awesome reviews.
Yeah.
It got close to a 90
I'll have to
on
check it out. I think
Metacritic.
it's on Game Pass, so I actually thought
So
I'm gonna.
can we
have
trust
to-
Scott's opinion about these?
I didn't say that I didn't like it. I just said like I didn't get a
Roll
full
the tape.
chance to play.
Roll the
it.
tape on this, Scott.
No,
Scott,
I did, yeah, roll the tape. I said it was fine, but I
Should be a
just didn't
video
get to
editor
play.
on this.
I just said I don't know because.
Yeah,
Like,
Scott,
I
you
got
only-
like 15 minutes.
Scott, you only
and
have
I
4
died.
games left. Well, you can pick one and get more game up.
Yeah, but that's what I was saying. Like I've got
Outer Worlds, Psychonauts
Outer
2,
Worlds, Psychonauts
Biomutant.
2, and Biomutant.
And
So
Cyber-
those
yeah.
3 I want to play, but
Yeah.
all 3 of those still don't have
Eric's
any
got a
specific
lot of games coming
release
out.
date either. So.
And I have a lot of games coming
A
out.
lot of Nintendo games too, but
Mhm.
a lot of them haven't been done a release date still, so.
Okay.
Okay. So that's the update on that. But hey, let's get back on track to the main topic.
There we
The
go.
reason why
We
Brett
got a
has
little
his
bit of
laptop
spin-off
out.
here.
So we want again following our couple weeks of talking about some E3 stuff. So the past 2 years, Scott, Eric, and I have been making E3 predictions, kind of like just the 3 of us having some fun and see who has the most. So I do the 2017's predictions, and I did win those.
Just to be clear, some people make like a lot weaker predictions.
We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out.
We'll find out live next week.
So I'm not going to go through the 2017 predictions, but I wanted to go through what our predictions were for 2018.
Oh, well, I kind of want to hear what your predictions that were so good in 2017 were.
Well, it's going to take too long, I think.
Yeah.
No, I will. Fine.
I know that was the year that you fucking made all these like given predictions that
Okay.
I knew was coming.
All right, let's do this. Okay. So 2017 predictions, I'm going to run through the list really quick. Microsoft, Eric, Ryan's 2 trailer.
No, just do yours. I want to hear
Me?
yours. Yeah.
Scorpio price will be $4.99.
Okay, everyone knew that.
Far Cry 5 gameplay.
Oh, Far Cry 5 gameplay, man.
Spider-Man
No one saw that
gameplay.
coming.
Spider-Man gameplay.
Spider-Man gameplay.
Oh,
no one saw that
Detroit
coming.
amazing.
Beyond Human trailer. No Kingdom Hearts. Gameplay of Xenoblade 2 with release date. That's pretty specific. And there's one more. And Dishonored 2 DLC.
Okay, that's a decent one.
Yeah.
But yeah, Spider-Man gameplay, everyone knew that was coming. Everyone knew fucking Far Cry every year.
It was
Far
never
Cry.
announced. I just said it. So that was my prediction for 2017. So what I want to do is go through the 2018 list and kind of just like go through it, and then maybe on ones that you guys kind of like want to laugh about or be like, wow, I was right about that. Stop, and then we'll get your opinions on that, and obviously me too.
Okay.
So the way we did this last year was we broke it down by conference. So the conferences were EA, Microsoft, Bethesda, Ubisoft, Sony, and then Nintendo. We each had to make at least three guesses. That was kind of like the rule we were going for. And if we wanted more, then we did more. But so we kind of jumped around a little bit. The final tallies I will announce at the end. And so let's go through it. So again, stop me whenever you get a chance, and we'll talk about it. So, so we're gonna start with EA. That was the first conference shown last year. I mentioned a more in-depth franchise mode, in parentheses, long shot in Madden, and they did not even talk about that at all. Like,
you got screwed on that one, 'cause they talk about it like every year.
Yeah. Scott, Anthem release window. They did not give an Anthem release window. They just showed gameplay.
Darn.
So, Eric, announcement of a new Burnout.
That didn't happen apparently.
A new Lord of the Rings game. So I believe EA. I'm not sure if they even have the rights anymore to Lord of the Rings. But that did not come true. Scott, a different studio. This one he is correct. A different studio, not seen before, making a new Star Wars game.
I remember we were a little bit like you guys were like, oh well, everybody knew that the
well, they had like another unannounced
studio
Star Wars
was
game coming out. And Scott came out with their prediction.
What was the unannounced studio?
It was Respawn.
The Respawn. The
remember they had
Jedi Fallen
Visceral.
Order, but
They had Visceral, and then they had
because I didn't know about that Respawn was doing it, but apparently
I
you
thought
guys
you
did.
said unknown studio.
And
no,
we just decided
not
that
seen
it was
before
fine.
in terms of not like
They haven't shown
shown anything that like they were making a game. So Scott got that one right. So and Eric, he was next. He said new Medal of Honor game, which was not correct. So and then
Nick gave me that idea.
and then
okay. And then my name's blank. I must have not made a guess at that term.
King.
Scott, expanded franchise mode for NBA Live 19. I think they did have an expansion of it, but they never talked about that at the actual event. Eric, Skate 4. I think he says this every year, but he doesn't get it right.
No, I think that was the first one.
And then I said a new Tony Hawk Pro Skater game.
Yeah, Skate 4.
That was
That's like
nothing
Tony Hawk.
Yeah. And Scott passed. Scott tapped out of
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
And then Eric won the Titanfall 3 announcement. So it wasn't an announcement per se, but obviously Apex came out only 8 months later in February. And that was it. Scott was the only person to get one for EA.
EA's conference last year is not very good.
Well, I remember we were like,
Didn't really
we were
go.
like,
We were so disappointed.
It was
Well,
bad.
we were sitting there trying to make predictions last year, and we're like, what the fuck are we supposed
Yeah.
to make for EA? Like,
Yeah, and then
no one knew what to go
And
for.
all they talk about is
that's
their
why Brett
sports
tapped out
games.
after like 2
That's all they
picks.
do.
So I do want to clarify too that we don't try to include anything that we know ahead of time. So Scott mentioned at the beginning of the podcast about we'll talk about like the confirmed games that have talked about being at E3. We will not pick those unless you want to give us. But you can't be like they're going to show Marvel Avengers at E3. You can maybe give a release date. We'll be specific about it. If you want to be, if we know it's coming, you have to be specific about what it's going to be. If we don't know, you be more broad. Okay, so that's what we did last year too. So Scott has won for EA. Moving on to Microsoft, which was on the next day, which was on a Sunday. I went first again, so I went first the whole row. I said a teaser trailer for a new Fable game. That was wrong, but I think that's gonna be the hot prediction this year with possibly Playground Games making that game. Scott, a Halo 6 trailer. Now it's not called Halo 6, it's called Halo Infinite, but Scott, we all knew what he was talking about.
They did say that it was the next iteration in the Halo franchise, so I think we counted it because of that.
So then moving on to my prediction, kind of related to that one, Eric went next and said the Playground Games new IP announcement.
That's
That's
good this year.
Yeah, that should have been this year.
Yeah.
Then I
Future Eric, he's
so
like, I see it, but it's...
so then I went
I'll
again.
share early, damn it.
So I went with it was my turn next. I went the new DLC for Sea of Thieves, which was correct. Scott,
You
new
and those DLCs.
yeah. Well,
Racking up those points with those
It's a
DLCs.
smart move. Scott went next, and he chose a new Gearbox IP. Now I think we'll all see Borderlands 3 probably at the Microsoft conference this year.
Yeah.
So
I said a new one.
I think it's a safe bet. Maybe not, but Scott said a new IP. And then Eric hopped on the Halo 6 trailer and went with Halo 6 gameplay, which they did not show. They just showed a trailer for it, no gameplay of Halo 6. I said next, Gears of War 5 announcement, which was correct. Scott, a trailer for the Walking Dead final season gameplay.
Hold on, going back to Gears 5, that's another like easy prediction that you made that everyone like knows is coming every year.
I was nervous though because they were showing those Gears games. Remember like that kind of the mobile game I think, and like another like.
Oh yeah, I
stupid
remember
game.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was getting nervous. Like, come on. So Eric said that Eric, along those lines, said no Gears of War 5 announcement.
Just mad about Brett because.
So he said
If it made an easy fix, I'm like, nope.
And then I went with a bundle of Game Pass and Xbox Live, which happened to come true, but not at E3. Scott took another bye. He was done after that. Then Eric went back-to-back announcements, which were both wrong. Forza Horizon 4 was release date and car present on stage.
See, now this is another
stage.
one where Brett's like trying to give me, oh, you gotta do specific criteria. You're usually like, that's not good enough for release date for a Forza Horizon. So I was like, we need more.
Yeah, because
he's allowed to put Gears announcement.
But we didn't know it was coming out. We didn't know.
We didn't know Forza Horizon was coming out.
We didn't know it was coming out. They talked about it.
And I was trying to do a
Well,
release
he
date.
said
And you're like,
release
that's still
date,
not enough.
which release date would have been fine, I would have thought.
But he said car present on stage, and there
But
was
this
no
I
car.
had to throw a car for
They just had 100 Xboxes or whatever. We're like, holy shit, what's gonna happen? And nothing happened.
Brett wants me to throw in like these crazy criteria, all this stuff on my shit.
And then finally, Eric went, and then I passed, and Eric had one more announcement: VR, which we have heard nothing about from Microsoft. I don't think that they're interested in VR at the moment. Doesn't mean it won't happen eventually, but I think they're really focusing on improving their software and kind of getting their first-party studios back up to par with how they were with the 360. So Eric and I both had one, so the score is now tied 1-1. So Scott had nothing out. Scott, the Microsoft / PC expert, got nothing right.
Scott's getting upset right there because you didn't count his Halo one.
So, move on to Bethesda, which is at night. And I remember this finally because I drove to Columbus, I was sick, and I missed some, the end, which I didn't. So, moving on. So, Bethesda. I said a new Doom sequel trailer, which is Doom Eternal, which was correct.
Here goes bro with the, just a trailer.
Well, here's
he doesn't have to put a release date or a fucking Doom guy in a
But
costume on stage.
but again, we didn't know it was coming out. We knew that Playground was making Forza Horizon 4.
This year you had to make predictions like Doom guy on stage in a costume or something.
Moving on, Scott. This is now again. Now I want you guys to Scott. Don't look at my. You gotta be as surprised like Eric.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So, Scott, and this is how Eric goes. Just wait, folks. Scott says no. Elder Scrolls announcement. Eric piggybacks and goes, Elder Scrolls announcement. So.